Have you ever thought about solo traveling, but you never really knew what to expect while solo traveling? I had exactly the same thing. But I just came back from my first time solo traveling doing an Interrail through Europe, and in this video I'll share with you some of my experiences and some tips for you to set you up for a successful solo adventure. I'll start by giving you a brief introduction as to why I went solo traveling and where I went. Secondly, I'll share with you some of the things that stood out to me while traveling on my own because it was quite different from what I was used to. And lastly, I'll share with you some tips that will hopefully set you up for success while solo traveling. So I went on an Interrail as I just finished university, and I was actually in this time between university and a job, so I was applying for jobs, and I actually figured this is something that I could do from anywhere basically, so why not go traveling and do it from there. So I spontaneously decided to just buy an Interrail ticket and start traveling. And since I'd never been to Eastern Europe, I said to myself that I wanted to explore that part of Europe. So during the trip I visited Vienna, Budapest, Ljubljana, and it ended in Innsbruck. And why I wanted to do this on my own is basically because I just wanted to see what it felt like being on my own the whole time. Also giving me the space to be spontaneous about things because I didn't have to discuss things with others before I wanted to do something or wanted to go somewhere. And this is basically why I wanted to experiment with traveling on my own. And I will continue by giving you some insights into the things that stood out to me during my travels. So the first thing that I noticed was it was maybe a bit awkward to travel on my own. I had never done it before. I had always been in company of either my friends or my family, and I'd never been traveling on my own. And since this was so new to me, it actually felt a bit awkward from time to time because you were alone in the hostels, you would arrive on your own, and then in the beginning especially you would do things on your own and you were like, what am I supposed to do now? But after a while you really get the hold of it and you get used to it, and also you become more open to talk with others. Which brings me to the next point, which is that I was way more open to talk with others, connect with others, and to just see where it went basically. You would come into the hostel, see other people there, and just randomly talk to people, asking them where they had been, asking them where they were going or what their plans were for the rest of the travels. And this really led to some great conversations or great days that you would spend together instead of on your own. And that is basically how it developed for me, which was really fun. And one thing that inspired me were the videos of Yes Theory. They are basically making videos about things that can happen when you just randomly talk to strangers or do some spontaneous things. And I noticed that just randomly talking to strangers sometimes can give you the best experiences of the whole travels and the best days that you will find during your travels. So this was really an eye-opener for me. It's really kind of a cliche, but I found it was true. You do have friends all over the world, you just need to meet them, and that was definitely the case for me. And then the last thing that I noticed, as I was traveling on my own, I felt that I could do anything that I want, anytime that I want. So I had the complete freedom to do something completely spontaneous. As I said before, you would meet a stranger, randomly start a conversation with them, and all of a sudden you just find yourselves walking through a new city together, or you would go on a day trip together. And this is something that you would normally not do if you would be on travels with your family or your friends, because you would do everything with them and you would discuss within the group what you're gonna do. Whereas if you meet a stranger and you have the same plans, why not do it together and be spontaneous? It's really nice to be free and to have the spontaneity that you can actually do these kinds of things. And now let's go on with the tips that I would give you to set you up for a successful solo adventure. So the first tip is really use the opportunity to meet others. There are plenty of opportunities. I was staying in hostels and most times I booked them through Hostel World. And in Hostel World you would actually have these chats and you would be in a chat with all other solo travelers or other people that were traveling and were in the same city as you were, or even the same hostel that you were in. And what people would do is just they would write in the chat if anyone would be up for a drink this night or to go out for dinner together. And what I really learned is that if you want connection with other people, the easiest thing is to just join one of these groups or join one of the events that the hostel organizes and just connect to other people. As I said before, solo traveling can be awkward, especially in the beginning, so also give yourself time to get used to it, and if you feel you're ready to connect with others, what I would really recommend, then go for it. You must always remember that if you're solo traveling, you will meet a lot of other solo travelers and they are in the same situation that you are, and they probably also want to connect with other people. So everyone is quite open and quite accessible to talk to and to be spontaneous with. So the second tip I will give you is go in with an open mind. Be ready to have your beliefs challenged, your views in the world opposed, and also be open to take part in a discussion about some things like that, because those things will probably also happen. It doesn't always need to be the case, of course. You can just talk about life and what you like, what you don't like, those kind of things, and you'll also see that people are different. But it's just nice to go in with an open mind and to actually try to understand the other person. You'll grow personally from it as well, and it will just really enhance the experience that you have during the traveling. And it's not only the people, of course, that you have to have an open mind for, it's also just the places that you visit, the cultures that you visit. Be curious about what the culture is about, what the city is about, what it has to offer you, and just go out with an open and curious mind and try to explore everything. It's really, really cool. And the last tip, of course, you'll be doing a lot of stuff. You will meet a lot of people, you will see a lot of new things, and it's hard to keep track of everything, maybe. So what I did was that I wrote in a journal every day about the experiences that I had and the people that I met. And I think this is a really cool way to capture your experiences and make sure that you can relive some of the moments that you had during traveling. And the beautiful thing about journaling is, I think, is that it always feels like you have someone to talk to. You have kind of this friend with you who you can just talk to whenever you want, and it really feels good, especially in the beginning if you're on your own, to have this kind of friend that you can just say everything to about the day. And if you'd like to have tips on how to start journaling, I also made a video about that, and the link to that video you can find in the description. I personally was really excited about the first time solo traveling. I'm sure that it will not be the last time that I did this. I hope I could inspire you to embark on this journey yourself, because it was really amazing for me, and I hope that my tips will really set you up for success in your first solo adventure. Let me know in the comments what you think about solo traveling yourself and where you would want to go. And if you could leave a like for this video, that would be awesome. Also, if you like this kind of content, then please subscribe to my channel, because I will make more of these kind of videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.